we are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard how Vyasadeva took shelter of Narad Goswami, and Narad Goswami is now speaking about his own story. How he was a son of maidservant and was having association with those devotees, and they also gave him some bandhagyan and instruction for practice. Then, after his mother died, when he was still young, then he headed north and passed through many places. Then there at some river he drank and took bath. Then he sat under a tree to do that practice as given by devotees. So here we heard this. After that, under the shadow of a banyan tree, in an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within, using my intelligence as I had learned from liberated souls. As soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, with my mind transformed in transcendental love, tears rolled down from my eyes, and without delay, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, appeared on the lotus of my heart. So he started to meditate, and his mind transferred, spiritualized, his consciousness became pure, and in that purified consciousness he saw Krishna appearing in his heart. This is, we heard yesterday, Premati Bhara Nirbhinna Pulakango Tinirvrita Ananda Samplavelino Napasham Ubhayam Mune. O Vyasadeva, at that time, being exceedingly overpowered by feelings of happiness, every part of my body became separately enlivened. Being absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy, I could not see both myself and the Lord. Here Sai Maharaj is commenting, spiritual feelings of happiness and intense ecstasies have no mundane comparison. Therefore, it is very difficult to give expression to such feelings. We can just have a glimpse of such ecstasy in the words of Sri Narad Muni. Each and every part of the body or senses has its particular function. After seeing the Lord, all the senses become fully awakened to render service unto the Lord. Because in the liberated state, the senses are fully efficient in serving the Lord. As such, in that transcendental ecstasy, it so happened that the senses became separately enlivened to serve the Lord. This being so, Narad Muni lost himself in seeing both himself and the Lord simultaneously. All your body and mind and everything soul, they are all engaged in the service of Krishna. They are one. I heard also from Srila Gopananda Maharaj. They are one. Everything, they are serving. They are in full harmony. Everything is in full harmony. They are one. And they are all serving Krishna. Rupam Bhagavato Yat Tan Manah Kantam Shuchapaham Apashyan Saha Sotaste Vaiklavyat Durmana Iva. The transcendental form of the Lord, as it is, satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. So he got darshan by doing that practice and felt transcendental happiness. But then he lost, and we will come to know why. Didrikshus tat aham bhuyah pranidhaya manohridi vikshamano pi napashyam avitripta ivatura. I desired to see again that I desired to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. Now, this is very important point here in the commentary. He tried same thing as before. So if it would be dependent only on our effort, then you do same effort, you will get same result every time. But it didn't happen. So here in commentary, there is no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise whenever we like. We cannot see the sun in the night. We have to wait. Even if we bring so many lights to enlighten, but we cannot see the sun. We have to wait. So, the sun rises out of his own accord. So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging his prescribed duty in devotional service of the Lord. Narada Muni thought that the Lord could be seen again by the same mechanical process which was successful in the first attempt, but in spite of his utmost endeavor, he could not make the second attempt successful. The Lord is completely independent of all obligations. He can simply be bound up by the tie of unalloyed devotion, nor is he visible or perceivable by our material senses. When he pleases, being satisfied with the sincere attempt of devotional service, depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, then he may be seen out of his own accord. We heard that Damodar Lila, always there was 2 fingers short. One finger is the grace of Krishna, one finger is our sincere effort to serve him. So one may think it is also there in Vedanta Sutra. If darshan depends on his will, then we have nothing to do. He will just choose. But it is not so. We have to do our effort. Our Gurudev told, we have to do our effort to attract His grace. But we cannot control Him. He will show Himself to a sincere soul when he will see his sincere effort. But at the same time, we should not think that only by our effort, independent of his will, we can get him. So if we do with such ego, then that is not sadhana bhakti. That is, we may be outwardly doing some devotional forums, but with wrong ego, that I'm the doer and I will get the result. That is insincere sadhana. Sadhana should be sincere. I should do, but depend on His mercy, always waiting for His mercy. If we are not doing sadhana, that is not right. If we do sadhana with false ego, it is also not right. We have to do sincerely and to wait for His mercy, because He has His own free will, and He may appear and then again disappear. In many times this happens to devotees, to increase their separation grief. That is in general for realized souls. But here in Narad Goswami's case, we will see that was another one case. So that verse, Sevan Mukhe hi jivado swayameva spurita. Swayam, he himself has to reveal himself. But he will reveal himself to a sincere, surrendered, serving soul. So he tried with his effort, same effort, but the result was not there. So from this we have to learn that this is not some mechanical thing. We in this world, we are doing some effort and we get something, but that is material thing. It is subordinate to us. That is why we can control, but we cannot control him, Krishna. Even by sadhana we cannot control him. Especially not with sadhana with false ego, not for his satisfaction, and not acknowledging that his will is supreme. Evam yatantam vijane mam aha gocharo giram gambira shlakshnaya vacha shuchach prashamayan iva. Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all mundane description, spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words, just to mitigate my grief. After Narad Goswami, he tried very hard, but could not get darshan. Then he became sad, disappointed. So in that state, Supreme Lord spoke this. Hantasmin janmani bhavan ma mang drashtum iharhati avipakva kashayanam durdarsho ham ku yoginam. O Narad, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me, means they cannot see me. Hardly word sometimes is used as not, or sometimes as very difficult. So sometimes there in sometimes hardly Means you cannot. So here, commentary by Srila Sai Maharaj. The personality of Godhead is described in the Bhagavad Gita as the most pure, the supreme, and the absolute truth. There is no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person, and thus one who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. The beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. The result is exhibited by the science of being freed from kama, lust, and lobha, covetousness, greed. That is to say, one must be freed from the desires for sense gratification and avarice for sense gratification. The balanced mode of nature is goodness. And to be completely freed from all material tinges is to become free from the mode of goodness also. To search the audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Prahlad Maharaj also told to Hiranyakashipu, I think it is good, it is sadhu, that one should give up that house where sadhus are not invited, not respected. One should escape from such house and should go to forest and take shelter of Supreme Lord. So there it is explained, Sattvika, forest means Sattvika bas. City is Rajasic, and where gambling and prostitution and these things, that is Tamasic. But Maniketanam to Nirgunam. Krishna says, but my abode is Nirgun, his temple like this. So there Gurudev explained, that does not mean physically, outwardly go to forest. Because many robbers, they also go to forest. And they divide what they stole, their loot, they divide them among us in the forest. Or do some things. And if everyone will go to forest, then forest will also become city. So it means you have to stay in Satya Guna. And in Satya Guna, with this passion, not engaging in this sense gratification, all this, you should take shelter of Supreme Lord. Dhruva also went to forest. Because he was a small boy, he heard that he has to call Krishna from Mother Suniti. Then where is he? He did not ask her, but he thought, we hear many sadhus, they are searching for God, they go to forest. So maybe it seems that Hari is there. That is why he went to forest and was calling. Then when he saw the tiger, then he embraced the tiger. Oh, are you my Hari? But tiger was controlled by Krishna, Paramatma. He could not eat him. Again he met one python, again he embraced. Are you my Hari? He was searching, and lion, tiger, python, everything he was embracing, no one could do anything to him because he was protected by God. But he was searching. Are you my Hari? And there was no reply, so he thought maybe he's not. So in forest, they are doing here also, to search the audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Many, they want to avoid those sinful people, they go to forest. There it is more balanced, everything, nature, everything. That is good, but best is where devotees, they are worshipping Supreme Lord. temple of Supreme Lord or Dham. In house also, if you are in that consciousness, Jedino Grihe Bhajana Deke Grihe de Goloka Bhai. House also becomes temple of Krishna when you are engaged in his service, Diti. So that is best. That is even better than goodness. To be alone in the forest is better than to be in association with non-devotee sense enjoyers. But better than to be alone in the forest is to be in association of devotees, worshipping Krishna. One can go out into the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but that does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely freed from all material attachment and be situated on the plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee to get in personal touch with the personality of Godhead. Now it is coming. The best method is that one should live at a place where the transcendental form of the Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place, whereas the forest is a materially good habitation. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity form of the Lord rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the process of archana, deity worship, which is better than going out in the forest. In his present life, which is completely freed from all material hankerings, Sri Narad Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. Now, when he's pure devotee, then wherever that is Vaikuntha. Pure devotee is always in Vaikuntha, because always completely engaged in the service of Krishna. That is Vaikuntha. He travels from one planet to another to convert men, gods, kinnaras, gandharvas, rishis, munis, and all others to become devotees of the Lord. By his activities, he has engaged many devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many others in the transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord, therefore, follows in the footsteps of the great devotees like Narad and Prahlad, and engages his whole time in glorifying the Lord by the process of kirtan. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities. When you do kirtan for the satisfaction of Krishna, then preaching is automatical. You don't need to make any separate endeavor for this. But if you are not doing for the satisfaction of Krishna, then that cannot be called preaching, not even sadhana. That will have no benefit, eternal welfare. You may get some worldly name and fame and some money and like this, but not devotion to Krishna. So Krishna told him, you are not yet fully pure. That is why you cannot see me anymore. We don't deserve, but as we will see, here Krishna is explaining why he showed himself to him. Sakrit yat darshitam rupam etat kamayate nagha mat kamach shanakai sadhu sarvan munchati hrichayan. O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me. Because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires. That is the point. We don't deserve, because we are not on that platform of purity to get darshan of Krishna. But he can show himself to us, though we don't deserve, for this reason, so that to remove some our doubts that whether he really exists or not. And he is giving sometimes some drops of taste, transcendental taste, so that we will understand that this is something different than this worldly thing, to help us, to encourage us in our sadhana. That does not mean I get some glimpse by the grace of Krishna, oh, now I'm realized soul, I'm Jagat Guru, I am this, and I start to, with pride, behave like that. Then I will have to get some punishment also if I come into such illusion. But it is to encourage us. He may give, he is omnipotent, he, whatever he likes. He can remove those anarthas and can enter just to encourage, and then again he can go. Then we will remember that and get some experience. Then we will be encouraged to go on with our sadhana. That is the purpose. But if we take it in a wrong way and become proud, then that will be block to our progress. Sat sevayadir ghayapi jata mai dridamati hitva vadyam imam lokam ganta majjanatam asi. By service of the absolute truth, even for a few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. In previous verse, I showed myself to increase your desire for me. And now the more you will desire me, the more your material desires will be removed, your impurities. So this is this type of darshan. But after he will be, this is on the sadhana stage, some glimpse. We may also get some glimpses sometimes. But that is all on sadhana stage, not on siddha stage. When Narad will, by doing bhajan, he will come to get that transcendental body of personal associate of Krishna, then he can always see. Then that is siddhi, that is perfection. But Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave this warning that before you are siddha, you should not think that you are siddha, or pretend that you are siddha, or imitate like this. But that does also not mean that sadhaka cannot have any experience. That is also not true. Like in some other religions like this, you have to do in this life things. Only after you die, you will get some result. But it is not like that in devotion. You can have glimpses of Krishna, of taste and everything gradually in sadhana stage also. But you should not mistake those to indicate, oh, now I am siddha. That will be problem. But it is also not true that you cannot have any experience. Our Gurudev also told, up to a certain extent you can taste sweetness also in sadhana stage. that verse is there in Bhagavatam, it will come, like eating. If you eat 2 morsels, then up to that extent you will be fed and happy and nourished. It is not full, but it is also not nothing. The only problem is if we mistake one for another. This happens usually in the beginning stages, because before we believe and with faith we are doing like this, but then if Krishna gives some realization, because you are not mature, and it is like a big difference for you from before and now getting this experience, then you start to think, oh, now I'm realized soul. That is problematic, and one can be rescued from this if he gets the association of Siddha devotee, who is in that transcendental platform, and he can see what you got, and he can properly explain to you, yes, that is something, but it is not yet that. Then we can be rescued from that false thinking, now I am perfected. And also that you will not be discouraged that it is impossible to get anything in your stage. He will say, yes, it is something, but don't think it is everything. And even those who realize the souls fully beyond, above Maya, they have no tinge of any material conception, nothing, but they are also always humble. Though they know everything, but they know Krishna is unlimited, so it is, you never know completely, you never realize completely. They are fully satisfied, but they want more. And they know everything, but they know there is more. This unlimited reality is there. So they cannot have any false pride at any time for those devotees. But for sadhakas, they may have some misconceptions. Oh, this is all in mind, this is all my speculation. Surely I'm not worthy of any experience. Sometimes we may have such in this complex also, inferiority complex. No, it cannot happen to me. This is all my mind. It is all speculation. Or we may make a big deal of something. So both are not good. The real devotee realizes, so we will explain. What is it? He may say, yeah, that was mental speculation, bogus. Or he may say, yes, that was grace of Krishna, but that is to encourage in your sadhana. Don't think now you are liberated soul. So, if one does devotional practice, then he will get fixed intelligence in me, one-pointed devotion, and he will become my associate in the transcendental world. Both sadhans, siddhas, and nitya siddhas, they are associates of Krishna. Nitya siddhas are always, and nitya muktas, but sadhakas, they can become associates of Krishna after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. This happened. Narad Goswami is playing this pastime here, as we will see. Matir mai nibandheyam na vipadeta karhichit. Praja sarga nirodepi smritischa mat anugrahat. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time. Even at the time of creation, as well as at the time of annihilation, your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Krishna is telling to Narad, one who will get that pure intelligence, that will not be removed anymore. Even at the time of creation, as annihilation or remembrance will continue by my mercy. Like Haridas Thakur, he said, they told him, you are Muslim. Why you are chanting the name of another god, Hindu god? You should chant Muslim god, Allah. Why you are chanting another god? Then Haridas Thakur said it is only one God. Supreme Person is one. And there is only difference in name. Allah or Krishna, this different name. And according to inspiration given by God, that is how we are serving Him according to different levels, all these and circumstances, but He is one. So I am chanting the name of same God. They said, no, you should stop. Others will punish you. Then he said, even if you cut my body to pieces, still I will not give up. Because it is not body who is chanting. Atma is chanting. Atma has her own strength. Without that Atma strength, the body cannot do anything. If you kill the body, Atma will go on. So why I will give up service of Krishna? I'm not fool for the sake of some mundane benefits. So here also Krishna is saying maybe destruction or creation or whatever is happening in this material existence, you will always remember me. That is at the stage of Nishta that is coming. Nishta means fixation of mind to the object of worship. Your intelligence is fixed. I will serve Krishna. Nothing else is worth. So they are not disturbed by all this material. They are always doing. Here she is asking on chat, how can we understand on which stage we are? I already told how we can understand. We have to know that from realize the soul, because he sees the whole spectrum of everything. Like one teacher, he knows, like someone who finished basic school. He has all that knowledge. So he will see some person about his understanding where he belongs. Like that, spiritual master realized the soul can see what is in our heart. Therefore, he can give appropriate advice for our advancement. Like here, Narad could not understand, but Krishna told him, you are not yet fully pure. Like that, Guru will say, you got that experience, that is good. That is to encourage your sadhana, but you should not think you are realized soul. I may think I'm a realized soul, or I may think, no, this is all mental speculation. Realized soul knows. And realized soul, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he wrote one book, Madhurja Kadambini. There, he wrote about some details of what are the symptoms of Shraddha stage, because Rupa Goswami, he wrote in Bhaktara Samrita Sindhu, he wrote about different stages of advancement till Prema. From Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, Guru Padashray, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nibriti, Nishta Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. These are the stages one has to pass. So, he gave some explanation in Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also gave some explanation in Bhajan Rahasya about these stages, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also in Madhurya Kadambini, he explained. Then we can see, sincerely we have to judge according to those descriptions, then we can find, detect, but best is if we can know about it from some realized soul, practically. Vishnu Chakravarti realized soul, but we have to ourselves detect by reading. The realized soul will say, and what you have to do there. I heard from one Vaishnava, he told me this book Madhurya Kadambini is like thermometer of devotion. Like I feel some fever in my body, something I feel, but I don't know what is the exact temperature. So then I take that thermometer, put under hand or in mouth, it depends on the system. Then after some time, then that will show you have 38.2 degrees. Then you can know. Like that, if you read this Madhurya Kadambini, then you can understand how much is my devotion, where I am. Also, one time, one person, he asked our Gurudev, he said, the screen is not working. Sometimes I think I'm a Vaishnava. Sometimes I think I'm not. And others also, they are sometimes saying I'm a Vaishnava, sometimes I'm not. So you please tell me, I'm a Vaishnava or I'm not a Vaishnava? Then Gurudev said, if you are at any time, you become disbalanced, means disturbed, then you are not a Vaishnava. That is, of course, definition of a pure Vaishnava, like Prahlad Maharaj. He has no any other desire. So what can disturb him? He's seeing the will of Krishna behind everything. Or like Ambarish Maharaj. The Durvasa wanted to kill him, but he was undisturbed. Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Prahlad in many ways, but he was undisturbed. Haridas Thakur was undisturbed. Why? Because they were on transcendental platform. Nothing can disturb them. So in this way, if we ask realized soul, then he will tell. Then we can understand what is our stage. Or by this Madhurya Kadambini book. Etavat uktvo pararama tan mahat bhutam nabolingam alingam ishwaram aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyase shirshna va namam vidade nukampita. Someone who is expert, he can tell. Like, I remember I was training that martial art before. So in the beginning, you don't know. And then you learn like, then when you come to advanced stage, then you know many things. And then you can see in others how much they know. Then you can know. So expert can tell. Before, you cannot know. So Bishwan Chakra Thakur explained all the stages up to Prema. And especially we have to see, at least I myself, that when he is explaining about when we start doing bhajan, then some obstacles will come. Ghana Tarala and Utsahamoi, like one boy will come to school, he knows nothing. Then after some days, he will learn few letters. A, B, C, D, something he will learn. Now, in comparison to before, he knows something. But now, he thinks, I know everything. I'm the master of the whole world. I'm like, that is utsahamai, means false enthusiasm. It can be there. These different beginners' mistakes he's describing very nice. Or I want to enjoy this, or that Vyuda Vikalpa, I think it is called. Too much speculation. I'm thinking I should become a sannyasi, or it is better I should be household. Then thinking, if I become a sannyasi, it is very good, then I will not have to work. But not everyone can be sannyasi because I have some desire, so better I should remain household. Then, but if I'm household, then I will be entangled too much and I cannot, and all the time thinking like this, too much speculation. This is only one topic, he says, that one is speculating. There are other topics also, he's describing only one. So this also you can know. And there is Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, unregulated devotional service. Sometimes chanting this much rounds, then not like this. And the Nishtita Bhajana Kriya, all in details he explained. Then you can understand all those traps which our mind gives to either think ourselves very advanced or useless, worthless, and become discouraged. Both are not good. If we can have direct association of realized soul, then he will help us to overcome all these mental speculations and discouragement and over confidence also. Sometimes you think I am so good. Overconfidence. So a real guru will know properly how to deal with such a disciple, to correct him in both ways, to encourage or to show him, no, this is your pride, false pride. Then that supreme authority, personified by sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stopped speaking. When he says his message, then he will stop. Guru also. He will speak what he has to say and then he will stop. Sometimes I try to, from Gurudev, some more, but he would not. You have to take what he spoke and that you have to understand. Stopped speaking. Feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances unto him, bowing my head. So he was encouraged, Narad. First he was totally discouraged. I tried everything same, but I could not get darshan. He became discouraged. Now Krishna told him, I gave you darshan to encourage you for sadhana, but you will not be able to see me again. So you just go on doing, you will get me gradually. Then Narad was encouraged, yes, and feeling grateful. This we can get from bona fide Guru. Namani anantasya hata trapah patham guhyani badrani kritani chasmaran gam Paryatam stushta managata sprihah kalam pratikshan vimado vimatsara. Thus I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious. In Shikastaka, you will find Trinada Pisunichana, Tarora Pisahisnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahuri. If I become disturbed, not getting some so-called respect in this world, even that why they are not respected, I'm a devotee, I'm better than all others, some not respecting, it means I did not reach yet Nishta stage. I am in anarthas. I am unable to feel the presence of Krishna in all living entities, and I cannot give due respect to all. I hate non-devotees, and I misbehave with others. All these things is there. It proves I'm not in Nishta stage. I'm not tolerant as a tree. I am protesting so much and being disturbed all this. So Nishta I did not get. What to speak of prema? Nishta, this Trinada Pisunichana without any false ego, tolerant as a tree, amanina, no desire for respect. They may criticize whatever, I will not feel any pain in my heart. But if I feel pain, not only I feel pain, I want to take revenge. So then I can know I did not reach Nishta stage. I am below Nishta, Kanishta, not Madhyam, Kanishta. And I don't give due respect to all. And I am not all the time remembering Krishna. All the time chanting his name, remembering Krishna. It means I did not attain Nishta. So tomorrow, here, the Narad got, because fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious. This is minimum Nishta stage. Yes. This is Nishta stage. I did not get that. Tomorrow we'll hear further.